They thought she was just another quiet girl they could humiliate in front of everyone, until the black SUVs arrived, and the entire school realized her mother wasn't just any woman, she was the one who ran the entire city. What happened next will leave you speechless. Subscribe now for more shocking and emotional stories that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Mia Walker was the kind of girl everyone overlooked. Soft-spoken, bookish, the type who sat in the back row and avoided eye contact. Her father had passed away when she was little, and her mom, Eleanor Walker, was always busy. No one at school really knew what Eleanor did for a living, but there were rumors. Some said she was a government officer, others whispered she worked with the mayor, but Mia never confirmed anything. She just wanted a normal life. Until one day, that wish shattered. It started when 3 girls, Sasha, Brianna, and Kayla, decided to make her their entertainment. They were rich, popular, and cruel. They mocked Mia's thrift store clothes, her quiet nature, and even her old phone. One day during lunch, they took things too far. They dumped orange juice over her homework, laughed, and filmed it for social media. Mia didn't cry, she simply stood up, wiped the juice from her notebook, and said softly, "You'll regret that." The bullies laughed harder, unaware that those quiet words would soon change their lives forever. That night, Eleanor came home earlier than usual. She found Mia sitting silently, staring at her stained notebooks. Eleanor gently asked what happened, but when Mia hesitated, Eleanor's eyes hardened. "Who did this?" she asked in a tone that sent chills through the air. Mia shrugged it off, saying, "It's fine, Mom. Just some girls at school." Eleanor looked at her daughter, her expression unreadable. "No one hurts my daughter," she said quietly. Mia didn't think much of it, but the next morning, when she got to school, the atmosphere was different. There were unfamiliar men in black suits talking to the principal, and teachers whispering nervously. Sasha and her friends arrived laughing as usual, until they saw a convoy of black SUVs pull up outside. The school gates closed. Out stepped Eleanor Walker, dressed in a sleek black suit, flanked by her security detail. The entire courtyard fell silent. The principal rushed to greet her, stammering, "Mrs. Walker, we didn't expect, you should've." Eleanor cut him off. "When a child is bullied in your institution, you should expect consequences." Everyone's eyes widened. The bullies froze as Eleanor's gaze locked onto them. "Sasha, Brianna, Kayla," she said, pronouncing each name with deadly precision. "Come here." No one had ever seen the powerful CEO, political strategist, and the woman who secretly controlled the city's infrastructure projects, angry. Not even the mayor dared cross her. The girls approached trembling, their fake confidence evaporating. Eleanor gestured toward Mia. "Apologize." They stuttered an apology, but Eleanor raised an eyebrow. "No, mean it." Tears streamed down their faces as they apologized sincerely, the whole school watching. But that was only the beginning. By the next week, the bullies' lives began to crumble in mysterious ways. Sasha's father's construction contract with the city was suddenly under review. Brianna's mother's boutique lost its license over health code violations. Kayla's dad, a councilman, was exposed in a corruption scandal that mysteriously hit the news. Rumors spread fast. Someone had power, and that someone was Eleanor Walker. Mia didn't ask, but deep down she knew. Yet she didn't feel pride. She felt scared. "Mom, you can't just ruin people's lives," she said one night. Eleanor looked at her, eyes soft for a moment. "Sweetheart, the world isn't fair, but I'll make sure it's fair for you." Things seemed to settle, until one night, Sasha's older brother, Damien, cornered Mia in the parking lot after school. "You think you can destroy my family?" he growled, grabbing her arm. Before Mia could scream, headlights flooded the lot. A black SUV screeched to a halt. 4 men stepped out, weapons drawn, not guns, but batons and tactical gear. Damien froze as Eleanor stepped out of the car, her expression cold as ice. "Touch my daughter again," she said, her voice calm but deadly, "and I'll make sure your family's name disappears from every record in this city." The boy stumbled back, terrified. That night, Mia realized something terrifying: her mom wasn't just powerful. She was feared. As days passed, whispers grew louder. Some said Eleanor was tied to secret government agencies, others claimed she had connections to underground networks that controlled the city from the shadows. But the truth was stranger. Eleanor had once been a political strategist who exposed a ring of corrupt officials, earning her both enemies and allies. To protect Mia, she built a hidden empire of influence, police chiefs, media outlets, corporations, all owed her favors. Now, all of it was at risk, because someone from her past had found out she had a daughter. One morning, Eleanor's assistant burst in with news, "Ma'am, the DeLuca syndicate knows about Mia." Eleanor's face drained of color. The DeLucas were a powerful crime family she'd helped dismantle years ago. Now, they wanted revenge. Mia was at school when everything went haywire. The fire alarm blared, students evacuated, and then, chaos. Two masked men tried to grab her near the exit, but before they could drag her away, another SUV slammed through the gates. Eleanor's private security team swarmed in, taking down the kidnappers in seconds. Eleanor appeared, shielding Mia behind her. The whole school watched in stunned silence as the supposed quiet girl was escorted away by agents like a president's daughter. Later, on the news, Eleanor's name trended. City power broker's daughter targeted in kidnapping attempt. The truth was out. The next day, everything changed. The same classmates who mocked Mia now avoided her in fear or sought her approval. Teachers treated her like royalty. But Mia hated it. She didn't want fear, she wanted respect. So she made a decision. She would take control of her own life. Behind her mother's back, Mia began digging into her mother's world, finding documents, learning names, understanding the network of influence Eleanor wielded. What she found shocked her. Eleanor had not only built an empire of protection but also vengeance. Every enemy that hurt her was systematically dismantled. It wasn't just business, it was personal justice disguised as politics. When Eleanor found out Mia had been snooping, their confrontation shook the house. "You're turning into them," Mia shouted. "You destroy people just because you can." Eleanor's expression cracked for the first time. "You think I wanted this life? Every time someone hurt you, I swore I'd never let it happen again. I built this world to keep you safe. But I'm not safe," Mia cried. "I'm trapped." Tears fell, and for the first time, Eleanor saw not the little girl she needed to protect, but the young woman who wanted to stand on her own. A few nights later, the DeLuca syndicate struck again, this time targeting Eleanor directly. Her car was ambushed on the highway. News broke that she'd been hospitalized in critical condition. Mia rushed to the hospital, trembling. The woman who always seemed invincible now lay pale and unconscious. Reporters crowded the building, but Mia ignored them. She sat by her mother's side, holding her hand, whispering, "I'll fix this, Mom, my way." And she did. Using everything she'd learned from Eleanor's files, Mia traced the syndicate's operations, leaked their crimes anonymously to the media, and exposed their dealings with corrupt officials. Within a week, arrests were made. The city hailed a mysterious whistleblower who took down the DeLuca network. No one knew it was Mia. When Eleanor finally woke up, she saw the city headlines. She smiled weakly. "You did it," she whispered. Mia nodded. Without hurting anyone, Eleanor chuckled softly. "Maybe you'll run this city better than I ever did." The mother and daughter held hands, finally understanding each other, not as protector and child, but as equals. Months later, Mia returned to school, not as the bullied girl, but as someone who'd found her strength. Sasha and her friends apologized again, genuinely this time, and Mia forgave them. The city moved on, but whispers remained. Everyone knew now, you don't mess with Mia Walker. Because when you do, you're not just crossing a girl, you're crossing the woman who runs the city. And as Eleanor told her one evening, watching the skyline from their penthouse balcony, power isn't about control, Mia. It's about choice. And you chose compassion. That's real strength. Mia smiled, looking down at the city lights. Guess it runs in the family. They thought she was just another quiet girl, but when bullies crossed her, they learned the hard way that her mother ran the city. Subscribe for more powerful, emotional stories where justice always finds its way.